How's it going, everyone? So today we're going to be going over slingshots, what they are, and everything that I know about slingshots. I'm going to try to show you guys. Only thing is I'm not the greatest when it comes to explaining slingshots, because I don't even know how I execute them. I'm going to try my best. I'm really making this video for this one guy who commented like about a month ago. I feel bad I haven't done a video. I was supposed to. Anyways, I'm going to show you guys the basics on what is a slingshot in this video. So yeah, I'm going to be showing you guys what is a slingshot. So a slingshot is basically the action of jumping onto and off of a grind pipe and gaining a ton boost. Now the reason why this happens is because when you first go onto a grind pipe, you're going to gain a ton of speed. It's just how the game operates. So if we jump onto this grind pipe here, we'll notice big speed buff and then we slow down. Now if we capitalize off of this and we jump onto a grind pipe and then off of it, we gain a ton of boost. And that is basically a slingshot. Now there are two different kinds of slingshots. There is an on grind pipe slingshot, I like to call it, where you're already riding the grind pipe, which I'll show you in a second. And then there's one where you jump onto a grind pipe and then off of a grind pipe, which is what I just did. So I'll go over it again. Okay, so I'll show you guys two examples now. Just to reiterate, so this first one is going to be an on grind pipe slingshot. We're on the grind pipe, we jump, and we go flying. The second one is an off grind pipe slingshot, and it works pretty much just the same. But yeah, that is the basics of a slingshot. But now I'm going to tell you guys some tips that I think are useful, or maybe not some tips, but you know, essentially how to do them, how to perfect them, like what's the best way to go about them. So the big takeaway, this game in general is all about boost management. So the only way you're gonna actually do a slingshot is if you have boost, or a grind pipe boost for that matter. So when we have that grind pipe boost, we're able to like keep momentum, because without a slingshot, because without boost, we're not gonna slingshot. I'll show you guys an example of what I mean. So let me not balance, try to do slingshot. And like, it doesn't do as much as boost would, so it's really just not worth it. That actually somehow worked, but it normally doesn't. A lot of the times it definitely does not work to slingshot without boost. So slingshotting with boost is crucial. Now also another thing I've learned that isn't really a big thing, but the higher you are in the air, the more of an impact launch, I guess is the proper term you're gonna have. So let me show you guys. Tracks like, for example, Candy Kingdom has one of those impact boosts, which I'll show you in a second. This map actually does have a ton of slingshots that are very important. Well, there's actually 3, not a ton, but still useful to know. So there's one coming up here. We jump onto and off. Again, I'm not going to go over every single slingshot in this video. Another big thing that I have is watch professionals. That is a big thing. If you want to learn the best slingshots to go on and the best way to go about them, watch professionals, because they know what they're doing. I tend to stream a lot. I'm not that I'm a professional, but well, I could be. But that is a big thing to do when doing slingshots or learning them, is to watch professionals. And don't just go into a match and start slingshotting. Just don't. It's not going to end well for you. Yeah, it's better off just to learn them first. But yeah, anyways, back to the impact ground pipe. This is what I mean by like an impact launch. So we're going to go on to this. Here's another slingshot. How did I miss the freaking grind pipe? Okay, so I actually missed the grind pipe altogether somehow. I've never done that in the history of my life. But I'm going to show you guys an impact one. This is what I mean. They do give you a nice boost. Again, you're coming from more height. And then there's another one right here to end it off. And another big thing with slingshots, this just reminded me, on that slingshot back there, is to hop afterwards to keep your momentum. Now I can make a hopping guide if that's something you guys want to see. Hopping is another big important part of this game for maintaining speed. That's the main reason why we do hop. And after a slingshot, it's no different. So yeah, hopping after a slingshot, you know, reasonably hopping after a slingshot is very important to maintaining speed. especially if you saw down that hill back before. I can show you guys again. But yeah, we'll do one more run through like this. Again, we're gonna maintain boost, or speed, rather, on ground pipe slingshot. Again, still maintaining speed. I'll show you guys one last time on this grind pipe. What I mean is we go like this, and we just keep hopping and hopping. And that is so much faster than riding that grind pipe completely and just driving straight down the hill like this. So, yes, slingshots are a very important part of getting better, and like competitive Speedstorm on the whole, if you want to start competing, is definitely something that you need to learn, I feel. Because there's just, like, look at the speed. How fast does Rapunzel normally go? She normally goes 140. With slingshots, she's going 170. That is a big difference. Okay, maybe 160. But still, it's faster, it's better. And that's basically all the tips that I have. When you're slingshotting, don't wait on the grind pipe too long. Again, don't slingshot when you don't have boost. Just wait. Maybe you could slingshot still if you have a grind pipe boost. I made a video on ground pipes, but it's when you stand a grind pipe, you balance, and you get a boost like that. I'm gonna link my grind pipe video right now if you guys want to see it. It's my second ever video, so it's a little tacky. But you guys can still watch it. I gotta rewatch that guide. Honestly, I should, like, remake that. But, yeah, that's essentially all that I got for slingshots. Again, watching professionals is a big piece to understanding them. Watching what professionals do, and, you know, learning off of that. Because there are a ton of slingshots in this game. Almost every single grind pipe you could slingshot off of. Like that Tron track, forget about it. There's, like, a number of different ways they can go about that, slingshot-wise. And it's nuts. So hopefully Game Loft doesn't patch this. Not that it's a bug, but it's just so much fun too to do them. Like, they're blessed. They're blessed. But yeah, again, those are my final tips. I could show you guys some fun slingshots to end off. And go through a little bit of a montage of the more advanced ones, which again are just really fun to do once you get the hang of them. I'll show you guys one in Andy's room. Okay, one last thing I do want to add here though is slingshots do tend to be easier and work better with heavyweights. Again, another reason why top speed meta is so crucial. And that's just because they just don't go as fast. That's really the main point. So yeah, some people like King Candy, like Fear, they're not going to slingshot as far. It will work, but it won't work as well. Like, it won't be as much of a launch. But, alright, here's going to be one of the slingshots I'll show you that's a little more advanced. This one's fun to do. Slingshot off of this, hit your head, and you just launch. It was a blast. I love doing that one. I learned it, like, pretty recently, honestly. It's such a clean slingshot. But yeah, I'll do it one more time coming around here. It is just a blast. Ready? It's like we hop here. Bam. And there's a time trial that's this map right now. Dude, that slingshot is going to save you so much time. There's only like a day left. Alright, but that was the Andy's Room slingshot. I have a couple more I want to show off because I think they're fun and cool. Alright, I believe this is the variation on Jungle Ruins. Again, another pretty advanced slingshot. Like, I'm just showing you guys the potential and the skill ceiling in this game. What can be done with slingshots. Okay, we're swinging back around here. Hopefully we can do it now. I don't know why I can't do any slingshots today. Just not doing well at all, but here we go. Getting halfway. There we go. See, and then we keep hopping momentum. It looks slow for some reason. I don't know why it looked that slow. But if you saw in the bottom right corner, I'll replay it on screen now. We did hit up to 179 miles per hour. And it's just such a nice slingshot again. Such a clean, fun slingshot to do once you learn it. Okay, now we have a fun one on Agrabah that I discovered, I think. I think I'll claim the rights to it. Yeah, so we have a fun one on Agrabah. Again, I think when I discovered this, I haven't seen anyone else doing it. Now I do see people doing it because it is such a good slingshot. But it can be combined with a double, which is pretty crazy. So I'll show you guys what I mean. I did make a video on this too. I'll link it right now in the description. It should be a card if you want to click on it up top. But here we go. It's a slingshot like this, and we just go flying instantly 200 miles an hour. Now we do not have the boost to do the double slingshot. I'll go back around with her ability, Rapunzel's ability, so I'll boost. And you see how we didn't do the slingshot? It's because we didn't have any boost. But we did jump off that ground pipe because you do not want to stay up there. It is a lot slower. Okay, coming back around here, I think we're gonna... Well, we are. Gonna try to do it again. Jump here. Sometimes you can get this one pretty crazy where it's like you're hovering above the ground. But here's the double. This track is very weird with how gravity works. There's a lot of sections where either you can't jump like this. Like I just spam jump right there. I cannot jump. Same thing here. Honestly, like jumping is so tiny. But then there's some other portions where jumping is so crucial. Like you need to jump down that hill over there. This section's no different. Okay, we messed that one up. But sorry about the fire alarms. But yeah, there's the double slingshot. Again, this is a downhill thing. And you just gain a ton of speed on top of the slingshot. So it's a really nice one to know too. Again, I do have a video on it. I have one last one that I want to show you guys, which can only be done with 2 racers that I know of at the moment. Okay, so the last two... or the last slingshot that I want to show you guys can only be done with 2 racers. Now, some people will argue otherwise, but I will refuse to listen. This slingshot, like I said, can only be done with these 2 racers, Buzz and Baymax. Now, it can only be done well with these 2 racers. Other racers, they can do the slingshot, but essentially what Buzz and Baymax can do is not that. That actually is not a bad slingshot. But I need to be moving in order to do it, so I'll show you guys. So the reason why only Buzz and Baymax can do this slingshot is because if you could time it right with Buzz's rocket, hopefully I can get Buzz's rocket. Okay, we can't get Buzz's rocket. But if you time it right, you are able to like fly over that bridge over there. And Baymax is just really fast when he is flying, so he's obviously gonna go pretty far. I'll show you guys the Baymax variation on screen after I do this. Okay, just right here. There we go. So that is a very hard slingshot to pull off with Buzz. Baymax, different story. I'll show you guys that one on screen now. His ability makes it very easy just to slingshot over that bridge. But yeah, it's just such a hard and technical maneuver to do. I'll try it again here. Yeah, it's like the timing is everything. It's just so hard. Even I fail it. But that just goes to show you the possibilities with slingshots are really endless. Yeah, with the new addition of new maps, and well, not this season, sadly, but with the new addition of maps every season, there's always going to be more slingshots. I mean, we saw it in the Big Hero 6 track, San Francisco. There was a ton of new slingshots there. And yeah, again, lastly, final note, watch professionals, watch other people's streams, watch what they do when it comes to slingshots, because a lot of the top players will slingshot. I do slingshot a lot. I don't consider myself a top player, even though a lot of people do. Just watch other people, study other people. That's the biggest takeaway. For everything in this game, you want to watch other people. But yeah, that's all I got for today. This is a very long sign off, so I'm gonna go. Again, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.